Alright, so we're going to be doing a review of Captain America the Ghost Army. This was a comic sent to me by my good friend Chris. Chris, thank you again for this book and the others. And this is actually very recent. This came out about a couple weeks ago, I believe. And it's a new Marvel graphic novel from Marvel and Scholastics. So in other words, this book is probably going to be at someone's book fair. Do they still do book fairs? In like elementary schools, and do they still do book fairs? I'm generally curious. Like, do they still do book fairs in those? Because yeah, this is like this is kind of perfect for it. So so what is Captain America the Ghost Army? Captain America the Ghost Army is basically a World War II story. This isn't... I wouldn't call this canon, by the way. It's a World War II story with Cap and Bucky, who encounter a army of Nazi ghosts that are being puppeteered by Baron Mordo. Yeah, that Baron Mordo. So, right off the bat, the writer of this, Alan Grates... I think that's how you pronounce his name. Alan Grates... knows his Doctor Strange. Like, he knows his Doctor Strange stuff. Not only do we get Baron Mordo and Dormammu, a little bit of a spoiler, but the thing of it is that there's also like some deep cuts to other Doctor Strange stuff, like how Baron Mordo is kind of is driven mad by his father's ghosts. His grandfather is also a Nazi sorcerer, and there's a low-level like D-list Doctor Strange villain in here as well. A villain by the name of Baskerville, who loses his hand in this continuity to one of the ghosts, and Baron Mordo gives him a new magic hand. So I'm like, there's a deep cut right there. So the story is that that Cap and Bucky team up with a group of Romani resistance fighters in order to stop Baron Mordo. This does kind of beg the question of like how old Mordo is in this continuity, because I'm like, Mordo and Steven are roughly the same age, and Mordo looks pretty old in this, like in his 30s already in this book. So, does that mean in this continuity that he's in his 60s when he meets Steven? Because, yeah. It's a fine book. It's definitely an all-ages comic. There is a lot of stuff that Grates puts in here, like talking about the actual U.S. Ghost Army, which was like a fake military unit that would scare German soldiers into thinking there was more of them, and talking about the internment camps, talking about Romani and the racism they dealt with. The problem is that he doesn't go too deep into it, and I understand this is a kid's book, but that doesn't mean you can't do that. Like, you can't just delve deeper into it. Like, he brings up that one of the characters is Mariko. Marita, excuse me, is named Marita. And Marita, it brings up the internment camps, to which Steve's like, oh, that really sucks. Anyway, I'm like, Steve, that's kind of a big problem. I feel like... I don't even think they've done a Captain America story where they talked about Captain America and his thoughts on the internment camps. I don't think they ever did. Maybe, actually, no, I think they did that in the Rick Remender series. Like, they brought that up in the Rick Remender series, but I can't be sure. Also, the Romani resistance fighters they team up with are Maximovs. Yeah. So, Sophia Maximoff is apparently the person who's going to grow up to raise Wanda and Pietro. And, they're the one who's going to raise... Like, that's the person who's going to grow up and raise them in the future. But again, this is out of continuity, so take it however you really wish. I really do like the artwork in here. It's kind of this fun, kind of like Saturday morning cartoon vibe. It actually, and the whole story really does feel like something you'd see in Jonny Quest. Like, this comic really did feel like a Jonny Quest kind of story. There's a lot of great vibrant colors. There's some nice references to other Marvel Universe stuff. It's definitely a book I wish Marvel would do more of. I really do want Marvel to do more of these kind of comics, because these are great, like, all ages, books that you can get new readers, and that's what you want. One of the things I think has been really good that Marvel did, one of the best, not Marvel, DC, one of the best things DC recently did, and I think is a big brain play, is it is at the end of the trailer for Blue Beetle on their website. On their YouTube channel, they brought up comics where you can start reading comics about Jaime Reyes, and I'm like, holy shit! Why have we been doing this the whole time? It's such an easy thing. Like, you could just have Marvel and DC be like, did you like that movie trailer? Check out these comic characters so you can check out these books. So I'm like, why haven't we done, like, to quote Peter Griffin, why are we not funding this? So yeah, knowing Marvel, they'll probably drop this because after, like, what, 2-3 more, because there is a Miles Morales comic following soon. So yeah, this is going to be really cool. I recommend it if you are a Captain America fan and want something like all ages. It's not expensive. It's about $15. It is a lot smaller, but this is definitely like something I could see if you want your kid to start reading comics and you don't know where to start. Here you go. This is like, if you want to get kids to reading comics and new generations to read comics, here you go. Captain America: The Ghost Army is perfect. Some of the stuff may go over their heads, like Baskervilles and maybe even Mordo, but hey, that will hopefully get them interested enough to actually read the comic, to start read the other comics. So there you go. I recommend this. Chris, thank you so much for sending me this, and if you've read Captain America: The Ghost Army, let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of it? Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.